What's up, Plumman?
Hey Lewis, what's going on? How are you?
Doing all right, brother. How are you?
All good, all good. How's everything been since we last spoke?
Oh man, I haven't really much gotten any progress in terms of anything, to be honest with you, man.
Cool. Is it just like everything's busy, like family wise, or is, how's things been?
I mean, everything's been hectic, brother. I just started school now again, and as you could hear, the baby waking up right now. So it's been a lot, man.
Yeah, I hear that. Especially with like science school and stuff, I can imagine it's a lot of moving parts. Um, where's coaching for you at the moment? Are you looking to push it more now, or like later on? Like what's the
Anything I can do with my resources, man, to be honest with you. It's all about what I could push with the resources I have.
how are you like what are you like from like a time perspective at the moment? Have you got time to push?
I have time, especially in the weekend. Like to me, Sunday is the time that I could study and work on my projects and do whatever I can. And during the week is tough, bro. It's just tough because either I'm trying to like do one training day or I'm just trying to recover. It's harder and harder. But as long as I could do anything on my phone, I don't see the point that I should use that as an excuse.
Yeah, for sure. Are you able to at the moment like say allocate time during the week for what I'm just thinking is if you allocate the Sundays to get most of the big stuff done, then over the weekdays you could just make do more focus on like closing clients, like getting Instagram DMs, getting calls booked in, taking the calls, and then over the weekends, over Sunday, you just prioritize it for planning things out, setting clients up, scheduling content, that kind of stuff. Could that work potentially?
Yeah,
Or
of course.
cool, I hear that. Amazing. And in terms of like, I know time's a big thing for you at the moment. Like, is there anything or what would you say is like the biggest bottleneck at the moment in terms of moving a coaching forward?
Money, man. Money. Like right now, I'm so tight with everything that like the kid, the rent, my school. It's like even if I could put anything on ads, it would be like $50, bro, or $25. And that's already like, taking it sometimes even like I don't even know what's gonna happen, bro. Like I just don't. I'm living paycheck to paycheck, bro, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And then it's so unpredictable then as well from like you said, yeah, it's because it can feel like you've got just gambling a little bit at times with it. Like you just sometimes the algorithm catches it, sometimes it doesn't. What else are you so like what else are you putting money into when it comes to the coaching? Like where like I'm just again thinking out loud here more, but you could technically have it almost as a plan initially, just get it working with like no ad spend, just all organic, get that
hmm
profitable. And then when you get money from the coaching coming in, you can then always put some of that into ads.
How much are we talking about when we run ads? How much do we usually like put in?
I would say, I mean, to be fair, starting out, I would even say you can get things like working well without ads, to be fair, initially, just for organic content, because like it's almost just seeing what your strengths are at the moment. You have a bit of time. So you have a bit of time over the weekend. You have time to message people, so you could leverage that more and just not spending any money really on ads. Just go organic. Organic content on Instagram could be the other way to do it as well.
Okay, because a lot of my followers on that page, they're not real. I don't know, it was like that era that everybody was just buying followers.
Yeah. Okay.
And that kind of like I messed my account up as I further down the line when I started talking to people, how it affects your algorithm and all that of how many people see your post and how many people are viewing it and whatnot. Um, but like I said, man, I could have a budget of like 50 to $25. That's not bad for me because before we started talking, I had launched my site and I had launched some Google ads and it did not go well. I wasted like $100. And then that's when I was like, okay, this is not working for me. I can't just put another 100 and I haven't even gotten a lead, you know?
Yeah, so you put the money down and was it Google ads you said? Or
Yeah.
have you had success with Instagram at all before? Like what were you doing before?
I've never really done a campaign on Instagram, to be honest.
What when you were with the previous program, what was you doing then? Like what was working well?
It was just through Google Ads, and I've never really done advertisement like that, to be honest.
Yeah, because what I'm thinking here is all the way we have it done as like a bit more of a blueprint for clients is at the start when they're going from like zero in the business to the first 3K per month in terms of profit and revenue. If we just do the foundations with just organic, like 95% just organic, so like no overheads in terms of ad spend, nothing like that, it's so much easier for like the way we do it. That's why we do it like that for clients, because then it's so much easier because they can then, when you do push Instagram campaigns and anything like that, it's so much easier because the foundations of the page is like really strong and it works and it builds trust. At the moment, there might also be a leak somewhere on the actual like where you're pushing people to.
Mm-hmm.
If you're pushing people to, if you're boosting content, as an example, I'm not so sure where you're taking people to, but if you're boosting people and they go on the Instagram page and it just doesn't resonate, you could also lose people there. So there's loads of things you could be losing people to.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you just have it working organic, if you just do like Instagram DMs, just message people, just have create content, just get that working really, really well, get that profitable. And the good thing is it's a coaching program, so the profit margin is super high. Get that working really well, get that to a good place. And that's when you can start pushing money to ads, but you can absolutely do it without ads initially, but especially because the budget you have now is, in my opinion, is not high enough to test loads of different things. With ads, what ends up happening is you test like our clients would put things down for like a few different things to test, but because we test a few different creatives, one of them massively outperforms, and then that makes it all the other ones profitable. But when you just put it into one, it's not enough. Like it could flop more often than not. But if you test four or five different creative, four or five different things, one of them does really well, and the other ones typically don't. But because the other one does so well, you make loads of profit on that, but you just haven't got the margin to push huge amounts of money in ads.
I understand. I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more in terms of like strategies is what you're saying, like the population, the age range, the interest and stuff like that, what you're trying to like see what works. So what avatar sticks to your look, to your campaign.
Yeah, I would go down. I'd personally go down if I were you. Would go down the organic route first, so get the organic content, even if it means maybe starting like a new Instagram page. Essentially, just this could be another option. It'll be worth just seeing the insights behind and just seeing what the insights of the pages you have now. But it could be either starting a new one and just really dialing in on like regular content to pull people in, messaging people again to pull people in. There's literally no cost in that. Get that profitable, get the price point of the program good. You're in a much safer space to build things, because at the moment it sounds like you're pushing money to ads and it's causing more stress without really seeing a return from what I can tell.
Yeah.
I would do that personally. I'd look at like the offer, look at the key pillars of who you want to portray on social media online. Then you get the content to resonate with that, like step two, and then from there start messaging people organic for Instagram DMs, because like Instagram DMs itself is like the most used feature. So if you can start messaging people in DMs, if I can just whiteboard, you can really, really crush it in my opinion. So I would do those, I'd work through those three tasks. And to be honest with you, I definitely think you'd be making money at that point much more like predictable. So I'd look at just getting clear on like your brand, I guess, who you actually want to portray online, and who like what kind of features of your brand, of your personality you want to portray. Like you've got family, you're working really, really hard. So that could be stuff to potentially portray. As an example, I'm just thinking out loud to know this a bit more, but if you can do that, you'd create like a more inspiring figure that people would really be drawn to, and then it's just so much easier then to book these people into calls and sell your coaching and move that forward. I would do that as step one. Um, from there, what I would do is just start mapping out like regular content for this, regular like weekly and daily content on social media, so like main feed content on Instagram. And then from there you can start messaging these people to pull new people in just through Instagram DMs. And you can like absolutely start getting calls booked in just for Instagram DMs. And then you just talk them through your service, how it all works. You book these people into calls and you sell them off the back of this. Um, is what I would do. And then here, what's amazing with this is with this framework and this kind of step-by-step process, you can get this to easily get this to 3 to 5K USD per month without even touching ads. And then if you want to scale this further from there, it's just so much easier because you can put a bigger budget on ads and you get a bigger return because this is already proven as a framework and as a system, is what I would say. What are your thoughts? Have you looked into potentially something more towards that style?
No, this looks good. I would just like need to, be more creative in the aspect of what I'm gonna like launch. Cause like brand who you actually want, what you mean that as like the client?
Yeah, so like who you actually,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay. Who
yeah,
you
or
actually
like,
are.
yeah, who you are and like what kind of features of your, I guess, personality of the kind of character traits you want to pull people in towards as well would be really important. So like what kind of character traits of people you want to pull in would be huge. So like, family, hard working, those are stuff that you're already excelling at and doing really well at. So it just makes sense to just talk about this, talk about how you've managed these, how you've overcome them, like what you're doing in those areas would be massive because then it's like people that are already trying to work hard in this are just going to be drawn to it, and it's just going to be an easier thing if we can get your like social media on the front end to come across as like you inspiring people and you being like the role model in that one area they really want to excel in. If we can just document that and share how you're doing this, everything becomes easier, like content, DMs, because you're not going to have people like from ads, you're not going to have people that just come in and have no idea who you are. They're going to say, I've been looking up to your content, I've been looking up to what you do for so long. It'll be a lot easier. Is how
Understood.
I would do it. And
Okay.
you've then got good foundations to map out the content because if this is really, really strong and clear and you have one document for this, the content when it comes to mapping it out, you can just look at this big document you've got here, and then you can map out the content a lot easier from there. Like daily content is what I would say.
Let me write some of this down.
I'll send you the notes as well, but I would really say that would be huge for you.
Okay.
Um,
I'm a shy dude, bro. I don't really like talking about my personal life like that on social media. But I do have testimonials. The type of brand that I portray is somebody that doesn't like, it's not a flop, bro. It's not lies. I'm not here to, whether you want it or not, I have it, if that makes sense. Because I always, like friends in the gym, I always tell them, like, man, you could think that you know what you're doing, but take it from advice that somebody that's been in the game longer than you have. I'll see you in 6 months. We'll see how your program is. And if you're not seeing results, we could talk about it. When those are like cold leads that I talk to in the gym, and mainly it's what I've seen, man, is that a lot of males, it's very hard to get in a medium level of understanding to like sell them, especially when it comes down to the gym, unless it's like some kid that's very young and it's like, very novice in understanding anything about fitness. My experiences with, let's say, even older men and stuff that I have approached at a gym, even when I was a manager at a gym, have not been the best. So I try not to, bro. I try not to at least go that route for those people. So I'm aiming now. I've had a couple clients that have been models. One is still, and I try to portray that more as the clientele that I want because they it's a necessity for them because if they are not looking good, they can't go on shoots and do photo shoots. I kind of go that route because almost every girl here in Miami wants to become a model. So it's more of like, you could do a pitch and it makes sense for them that, okay, like in 3 to 6 months, I could start losing body fat and I could start sculpting my body to whether or not do another photo shoot or things I need towards my goal.
Yeah, I hear that, and it just makes a lot of sense because on the gym floor, I imagine you just end up having anyone and everyone in there, and it's quite hard to like to have that. Um, the model side of things sounds good. I would what I would say is it sounds like it sounds like it's a good place and it kind of works well for you. I'd maybe just say what you'd need to do is just still have it somewhat like some kind of storytelling there a little bit in terms of how you've stumbled across helping models, how like almost just get more of your personality across. So like people aren't necessarily always going to book a call or reach out if they don't know how you can help them necessarily. So like if you just get that personality across, I think it'd be powerful. And there's not many people, dialing in on that space, and you've got results in there as well. I think it'd be really, really strong. I think just almost getting people to feel like they know you beforehand would be really powerful. Just get them to feel like they know you just off the back of social media content, just get off the back of your DM conversations, because then it's just so much easier. To actually, it's not so direct to the sales pitch as well. It's just like it's more of a genuine relationship, and you can move it forward. And it's not like the easiest thing in the world. Like it does take a bit of time. With clients, it would take like the first 4 to 6 weeks to really map it out in terms of that first period, but then it just you kind of then know what content falls into where, and it's just so much easier. So I'd definitely say for you, just getting some of that across in terms of like who you are. Like if you were to speak to someone in the gym, there'd be a lot more rapport there and a lot more of a relationship. So it's just almost getting that across on social media content. So like, for example, just to move this a little bit, like I would say here is good, but there's not too much like I know this is not unusual, you haven't used this for a while, but there's not too much here about who you are, what you do. There's not too much that builds a massive amount of relationships with this page. Even if you run ads to it,
No, I hear you. I know
it,
exactly what you're
it
talking about, bro. Because, like I said, it's just that I don't know. I overthink as well. So it's like, do I sound corny? Is that the person I really want to portray? I don't want to sound cocky either. You know, a bunch of stuff.
I
But
would
you're definitely saying get more on the screen and talk, bro. And I know you do it. So like, I know it works, and it's definitely something I have to add on to at least my brand and moving forward.
and I think it'll become a lot easier once you have the actual like foundations bit mapped out. Once you have like the foundations bit of who you want to target, like who you want to attract into it. Like it can be it can be a bit more broader. It can be more like particular mindset of people, like what kind of people are quite driven and you want to work with. I think just having some kind of clarity on that would make a massive difference for sure. What are your thoughts? Was there anything else you wanted to go for? I would definitely like if I were you, would try and take it more in that route for
Okay.
because it's just then it's so much easier to as a foundation to have. You can push add to it in the future. Like once you have a really good foundation at the moment, even if they land on a page, because it's quite mixed in terms of it. It's quite anonymous feeling. Like it's people can still end up. You probably lose more people not because of the quality of the ads, but more the quality of the actual content itself. If that makes sense. So if we fix that, everything would work a lot smoother.
Okay. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Definitely. Um, and just one help in terms of I guess like the posting aspect of it. Well, do you have any like software or way that you time your ads or your posts and certain times that you use that would be beneficial for me starting off?
Yeah.
I might
So
mute myself, man, because my little girl's about to wall
no,
out.
no, no, that's all good. So it's up to you. So I have to be honest with you, I have tried doing the whole scheduling. I'm pretty sure you can do it through the app now for Instagram itself. You can schedule. I think you don't even need like a third party. You can just schedule for Instagram. It's worth a try. The only thing I do find is every time it's scheduled, it almost always just drops the engagement way too much. I've just posted manually. Like I just set like an alarm or just have like one of the the guys from the team just always post at the same time, but manually for me for us and pretty much for everyone just does better from an engagement perspective. And if it means like we get like a few extra follows or a few extra likes, it's worth doing because it just means we get more people that we can message. So I'd potentially keep it if you can manually and if you keep it around the same time. And if you just always go, if you just say I'm gonna always post every single day at this time, around this time, it's just so much easier. You can just have it saved on your phone and it's just easy to just jump on, 5 minutes, copy the
Okay,
copy the thing and just post it.
gotcha.
Is what I would say.
All right. I'm gonna do I did some new PRs this week. I'm fucked up, bro. I had a bad accident last year around October where I was like this and they hit the car from the back and I haven't recovered since, man. But every time I try to push myself, bro, I really feel it, bro. I really feel it. So maybe I could like, talk about something like that and let my audience that even though you're going through something physically, it shouldn't be a limitation and go towards that and even talk about recovery and all that. Um, but yeah, Plum, I really appreciate the call and moving and giving me a blueprint at least and seeing what I can move forward with.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's no problem at all. I definitely say for you that would make a big difference. Just even getting more like potentially getting yourself out there a little bit more and just like making it a bit more of a challenge to get some kind of store like direct to camera stuff, even if it's just stories, um, would be powerful. Like ultimately the stuff on the call is like it's a bit of work to do for you. And I know you've got a lot going on. Um, but I genuinely think like deep down this will move things forward a lot more than paid ads or stuff like that, especially in the foundation bit. So from a money making perspective and from a client perspective, it'd be massive just going through those 5 pillars or 5 steps. And then from there it's a lot easier in terms of having more cash flow and really, really pushing things forward. So um, yeah, even just some talking stories in the actual stories because they expire super quickly. You know that people never expect them to be perfect anyway. So just
Yeah,
almost progressively overloading the content as you would with in the gym could be massive, and then um you'd pull more people in anyway.
heard.
Awesome. Anything else or anything else you wanted to go through? Or
Nah, as of that, I think that's good. I'm gonna work on it and essentially just put more content and realize that I should be, engaging with the audience of me like putting my face out and talking more, not just like, hey, like I just squatted 3 plates, like that's it. I know. I know that's not it, man. I know that's not it, but definitely baby steps, brother. I'll push in some work this week and hopefully you get to see it and get some feedback.
yeah, yeah, amazing. And to be honest, like that's like I guess last thing is exactly like what we're doing. So I'm not saying anything different. Like we've reached 100, I needed 200K accounts in the last 30 days, and it's been like that for like 2, 3 months just from content. Like we're barely boosting anything. I think it's one occasionally boosted. This is all organic content. We're reaching 200K accounts. and we're booking like 5 to 10 calls a week off the back of this, and we're closing a good amount. So like it's not anything fancy, but it kind of works just because it's very personal. It's very like one to one. It's not like it's not anything kind of not like generic or anything like that. And it works really well for us. So I do think in the fitness space as well, it could crush it for sure.
All right, man. Appreciate
Oh,
you, my man. We'll
yeah,
talk.
awesome. If
Thank
there's
you.
anything else, just shoot me a WhatsApp.
I will, bud. Thank you.